Hello, I'm Doug Huffman with Sierra School of Survival. I've been doing this for over 3 decades. Hand-to-hand combat, weapons, professional operator in hostile environments, adventure, river raft guide, urban survival, wilderness survival. This is what I do. This is what I live. I am a professional. I'm bringing you this DVD series to teach you what actually works in the wilderness or in the streets, anywhere in the world. This is not Hollywood. I'm Doug Huffman with Sierra School of Survival. We travel to a lot of clinics, and we partner up and we beat the tar out of each other for a couple days and then say, okay,
I love him at the
yeah,
seminars.
you know, it's because we can go full speed and we don't injure each other. You know, he's one of those individuals who can actually punch you at full speed and do stuff at full speed and doesn't break my head open. So yeah,
I appreciate that. He's the tough one, though. I'm lucky to learn self-defense because I don't think I've ever been in a life fight ever outside of restraining patients. My buddy here is coming down from the ambulance with me that works over at Sierra Nevada, and yeah, he's checking this stuff out too. So what I have is a little outline to go over with first aid. First thing we'll cover is the CPR, like he was talking about. All these changes throughout the year of learning CPR. All these things. You're going to do 5 to 2. You're going to do 15 to 1. You're going to. All these things were amazing coming out during the 60s when EMS first started, telling you how you're going to help somebody save them when their heart stops and everything like this. None of it was backed by science. So over the last 30 years almost, 2005, they decided to finally change the standards because they now have evidence out there to showing that everything that we were doing right here, it was only God that wanted you alive. It wasn't because the paramedic actually saved you. It wasn't because of anything that we did. Because we would basically come in, see you're down like this, go, okay, get the patches on, do these things. Okay, why don't you come over here and breathe and do things like that. And finally somebody will get on the chest and like this. And we'd pronounce the guy eventually. Now it's 30 to 2. We want 30 to 2. We want 2-inch depth. Your hand placement is now between the nipple line. It's no longer just an inch. Well, look at that. 2 fingers above the xiphoid process. My hand goes on there. That's about the nipple line anyways. Don't worry about that anyways. If they're old ladies, they want the nipple line up here. So don't trust this one when the old ladies are down here, okay? Nipple line's where we would naturally be anyways. We want 2-inch depth. And we want full recovery. So as we're going down like this, as when I say full recovery, not just resting on the chest, I almost want to take my weight off the chest so that the chest gets a full expansion, okay? And they're talking 30 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 2 slow. Has to have a rate of 100 in a minute, okay? The second point of that is the 2 breaths. So having a good head tilt chin lift, learning the jaw thrust maneuver if you suspect you might have a C-spine fracture. Let's not go over that right now. I can cover that in a later date. Let's say we saw this guy go down, we help him down. 2 breaths, just quick, pinch the nose, hold the cheek right there, cover the mouth. Make sure a nice neutral movement, give 2 breaths. I saw that one go in, I give another one, then I get right on the chest. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That 2-inch depth and that 30 to 2 is for adult children. Obviously, you're going to have to space it out on somebody that might be a little smaller. We're looking at maybe 1.5 inches, but they're saying 30 to 2 for everybody. So what they're finding here is you guys out there live on your farms, have your ranches, you have pumps for water and things like that. You know about priming a pump, right? You have to prime the pump a little bit to get it to start sucking the water up, get it through the motor. So you're adding a little water kind of to get it to do its work. What they found through the science with CPR is over the years of watching it on the monitor is your heart's a pump. That's all it is. It's a big water pump, and fleshy water pump inside your body, and it is fibrillating. That's the only reason we're doing CPR. It's moving like a ball of jello. It's not pumping. So what we're doing is we start those compressions, and we get it to start to push water, the blood, through the system again. And what we'd find out is that 15-2 or 5-1, you're doing this for just a second, and then you're letting it breathe. So you're starting to prime, and then you let it go again. Starting to prime, and letting it go again. And now they've tracked it through research, through pig studies and things like this, where they can watch it working, and then as soon as they step off to give your breaths, your 2 breaths, or to check a rhythm. Oh, let's check that rhythm, paramedic. Well, I'm not sure if he's got a pulse, and I'm looking at the monitor, and what the hell is that? I don't. Is that V? I'm not sure what that is. Oh, shoot, the lead's not, and you're fiddling with something like that. All that wonderful prime that you got just died off. So now you're back to square one every time you start it again. So, as lay people, they are looking to switch CPR guidelines for lay people to maintaining airway, because I can tell you, I know Doug and I know Brian. It's probably the only 2 people in here I might lip lock. Everybody else here, if I'm off duty, and even on duty, I'm not lip locking you. I got a bag valve mask or a mask to use for you, right? But if I meet you out in the real world, I'm not lip locking you. Sorry. I will have somebody hold your airway open. I will get on the chest like this, and all I'll do is this till the paramedics arrive. And they have found through studies, I think starting back in Japan, then into Arizona, and now over in Wisconsin, they are finding that they're having more success with making sure people get in a good cycle of 100 on somebody's chest with maintaining the airway in the neutral position than they are with regular lay people CPR. And the reason being is that we breathe on a negative vacuum. So as my diaphragm extends down, as it extends down, my belly goes out like this. That's how you breathe. Your belly kind of comes out. That's your diaphragm opening up, and it creates a negative vacuum, which naturally pulls air into your body. Nothing else really does that, just that diaphragm on that negative pressure. It takes positive pressure to breathe out. Well, I'm creating this negative pressure as I push down and as I come up, or creating the negative pressure, which draws some air in, or when I press down, it's pushing it out. When I come up, that's where it's creating that negative pressure. But they're also finding that the heart, the little arteries that surround the heart, actually at that point get to fill also. So when we're coming off that, we're releasing pressure throughout the body, and it's allowing that heart to fill again, the vasculature for the heart, not just your body. We're trying to get that oxygen-enriched blood to the heart. That's why we do CPR. They do not breathe whatsoever for the person. They just have them on the high flow oxygen, an open airway, and they're having an increase in saves, people walking out of the hospital after CPR. Now they're starting to, for patients like this, keep them cool, don't heat them up, so actually people survive better.
Slows the metabolism down.
Slows the metabolism down. They're actually, when we bring them into the emergency room in Sierra Nevada, and we've worked a code on this person, and we were warming them up in the field beforehand. We get there, doc's stripping things off, putting ice packs around them, cooling them down, and getting them ready for us to ship them down to Mercy General in Sacramento while keeping them cooler. So they don't even want us to try to warm them anymore if we're doing CPR on somebody.